With Dr. Wong, and about how many grafts did you receive?
The first procedure was in January of 2003, and I had about 4,300 grafts at that time.
And what kind of difference did that make for you?
Oh, a huge difference for me. I had started noticing that I was 52 years old. If I used to comb my hair, there was nothing to comb anymore. So after I got the operation, and within a very short time frame, especially about 5.5 months afterwards, I could really see the difference when I was using shampoo and I was combing my hair. Huge difference, and a lot of people in the family, because I live about, my family's about 4,000 kilometers away, and so when I showed up at a wedding 5.5, 6 months afterwards, everyone noticed there was a huge difference with me, and just them noticing made me feel really good that there was a difference. I hadn't told them yet, but when I did tell them, they were amazed. They were amazed that it was a hair transplant.
And how was the experience with your first procedure as far as the pain level and the post-operative recovery?
Yeah, the pain level after the first operation, first of all, I sleep on my back, so for me to sleep on my back after the first operation, the first 3-4 days I felt it was a bit tender when we were sleeping, and after that it was very normal after 3 or 4 days. It wasn't very hard to get used to it. And then when they took the staples out about 9-10 days afterwards, it was like it never happened, the operation. It was very comfortable. In fact, the process itself, when Jerry did it, it did not hurt at all. I didn't feel it. It was a very nice, clean operation, so it didn't really bother me at all.
And you had a second procedure with Dr. Wong.
Mm-hmm.
About what time frame was that, and how many grafts did you receive?
The second procedure I did about 2.5 years afterwards. In fact, I did that in the month of March of 2006. And the reason why I did the second operation, I just wanted a little bit more density. It looked great after the first one, but I wanted just a little bit more density. And that procedure took a little bit less time than the very first one. It was about 9 hours, which was spent in the operation. And after that, the same thing, the same process. I think this time around it was an advantage because Jerry was using a different type of needle for the freezing. And then this time around I felt more comfortable after the operation. My head did not swell whatsoever, felt very comfortable. And I never paid attention actually to my hair growing afterwards because I had hair to start off with. So it grew very fast, never paid attention to the new density. But I could really tell a huge difference, especially after the second operation.
So you've had 2 procedures with Dr. Wong, and what can you tell us about your overall impressions from the results and how it's affected you?
Well, I never imagined 10 or 15 years ago that I could get a hair transplant done in 2 procedures and have all my hair back. I've been starting to get bald when I was about 28 years old. And when I started really looking into it, in those days, they had plugs, hair plugs, and from my experience, seeing some people getting it done, all I could see is that, my God, it would take me 10 years to get my hair back with that type of procedure. So when I came here to see Hasson Wong and I saw Jerry Wong, and I saw that I could do this in probably 1 or 2 procedures, I was amazed. And now that I have all my hair back after 2 procedures and feeling great that I could just put my hands in my hair and it combs by itself. And the nice part about that also is that if you're driving a convertible every once in a while and the hair blows in your hair, it just feels amazing. An experience that I haven't experienced in a lot of years. All I can say is that it's an experience that you could only have if you did not have any hair, and now you get it back. You get a second chance at getting your hair back. And when you do have your hair back on the second chance, you appreciate your hair a lot more than before, and you take care of yourself a lot more than before. So I feel that the experiences are definitely worthwhile.
So what kind of advice or words of wisdom can you give prospective hair transplant patients?
All I would say is that do your homework, shop around, look out there at who's doing the best procedures. And once you do know, then do some investigation, meet with those people, look at some before and after pictures. And as well, if you have an opportunity to meet someone that already had a hair transplant, that's a huge advantage. Like when I came here initially, I met a young man that came from California, and he showed me his hair transplant that he had done the day before. And I was amazed, even after 1 day, what it looked like. And then when I saw some other folks that came into the office and saw their after pictures, like actually looking at their real face and their hair, I said, my God, that's worthwhile. And I said to myself, is this place the place to do it? When I researched actually Hasson Wong, saw that Jerry Wong came from Maple Ridge. I live in Maple Ridge, British Columbia, and when I saw that he had a good reputation in the industry, I said, well, that's the man to do my hair. And obviously after he did my hair, I had no regrets. I knew I was right from the very beginning. The thing is, do your research. Don't leave anyone touch your head, especially when it comes to hair transplant, unless you know they're the best. Now, like I say that Hasson Wong here in Canada, they are the best. In fact, they're probably the best internationally.